So, YouTube family, failed fire ESPN pundit Todd McShay, he likes Jaxson Dart over your guy Shedeur Sanders, and that's his top quarterback, he says.
I'm not seeing a big gap between these two quarterbacks, truly, in terms of talent and their potential to be starting quarter in this class. But with Jaxson Dart, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm looking for a guy who's a little bit more in tune with running my offense, who's going to keep it moving forward. Everything's climbing the pocket, tucking and running. The same reasons that I like Drake May are a lot of the same reasons with Jaxson Dart.
I've been broke so many times, I don't want to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Niggas bless up on my
So, before I use any receipts and debunked everything that failed NFL draft analyst Todd McShay had to say about Shedeur, let's listen to him thoroughly before we break this video down with furthermore receipts. You know how we do over here. So, Todd McShay, we're going to give you a chance to explain why would you talk about this asinine situation, limiting Shedeur for a Jaxson Dart? Ole Miss Jaxson Dart is better than Shedeur Sanders?
I'm not seeing a big gap between these two quarterbacks, truly, in terms of talent and their potential to be starting quarterbacks in the NFL. And that may shock some people. They're completely different styles. It's almost like watching a different sport when you're watching Shedeur, the scrambling around, holding onto the ball, beautifully creating and giving his receivers more time, but everything's east, west, backwards, running around and then making a beautiful throw because of his unbelievable instincts and his touch and his ball placement and all the things that he has that make him the best pure passer in this class. But with Jaxson Dart, if I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm looking for a guy who's a little bit more in tune with running my offense, who's going to keep it moving forward. Everything's climbing the pocket, tucking and running. The same reasons that I like Drake May are a lot of the same reasons with Jaxson Dart. It's very similar tape in terms of trying to be decisive, trying to keep things moving, progressing north, right? The difference was Drake May, the ball popped off his hands a little bit more than it pops off of Jaxson. There's just more. He's just more talented. He's bigger. He's just as maybe slightly more athletic. He's got a stronger arm, but he's making decisions, pulling the trigger. He's setting his protections more this year. He's checking out of some bad plays. I see a maturation in his game that I hadn't seen previous to this year, okay?
I'm always trying to get you to be like, all right, well, who's quarterback too, McShay? I think we're in a conversation now.
Yeah, he just said that. And before I tell you who this guy is, let me remind you who Todd McShay is. Now, Todd McShay was a Timu version of Mel Kiper on ESPN. He got laid off during the big ESPN layoff, the massive layoffs, particularly for doing this, being drunk on national TV during a live game and several other coverages. Yeah, that's right. This man would allegedly come to work looking inebriated on God knows what these type of people take, whether it was pills, drinks, who knows, but here we go.
McShay taught the Wisconsin quarterback is Graham Mertz, highly recruited out of high school in the Kansas City area and demonstrating why he's been terrific.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at offensively what they've always done, Paul Chris understands like the pre-snap motions and everything that you want to do, but when you have a quarterback like Mertz, it's different. The ability to throw the ball down the field and be decisive, that's what I love about his game. The ability to get the ball out quickly, accurately, and I would argue that he's the most talented quarterback that they've had in the last 2 decades.
That's a big break for the Wisconsin defense.
That's on
right
Bowser. It was in his cage and he could not pull it in. He was actually looking for the defensive tackle. Yeah. It's frustrating.
2-yard touchdown to Tom Blackledge. Molly McGrath here, Ryan Field started the game with Todd McShay, but our friend and colleague not feeling very well, so he's going to sit out the rest of the game. Nothing serious, but just not feeling 100%. So we'll look forward to being back with Todd McShay next week.
Now, I love Shedeur. He played behind one of the worst offensive lines that anybody could play with. No disrespect to the Colorado Buffaloes or Jackson State University. We're being honest when we're doing comparison and contrast, much like Todd McShay does when he's not having a drink on the job. To see Todd McShay compare Jaxson Dart and Shedeur as equals, it's blasphemy, bruh. Because at the end of the day, if you replace both quarterbacks, you put Jaxson Dart on Colorado Buffaloes, they're not winning 9 games. They're barely winning 3 games. If you put Shedeur on Ole Miss, hell, even USC, where Jaxson Dart failed at, I will tell you this, bruh. Ole Miss would definitely make the playoffs. I mean, if we're being honest, Shedeur Sanders was groomed to be an NFL pro-ready quarterback from Pop Warner days, from high school, all the way leading to his college days. This man was bred and born to be an efficient NFL quarterback. Look at his completion percentage compared to Jaxson Dart. We're about to show receipts to dismiss everything Todd McShay had to say, because at the end of the line, and them lines hit different, bro, because Sanders did way less creating with his legs at Jackson State and at Colorado, meaning he's not a dual threat quarterback. I don't know what Todd McShay is talking about, but they're lazy pundits. It seems when you're a few shades of darkness, we're dual threats quarterbacks all of a sudden, but Steve Young doesn't really get it attached to him, and all these other quarterbacks such as your Josh Allen, who did not deserve the MVP, but that's another debate. Let's look at Todd McShay, because I know what you guys are asking. The same guy who said Zach Wilson would be the next John Elway and a premier talent, why would guys like Todd McShay go out his way to say this about Shedeur? Well, he has a history against quarterbacks who look like me. When Jalen Hurts was getting ready for the NFL draft, Todd McShay would belittle his career with fake facts and fake stats.
Money too, let's be honest. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to lead Philadelphia or any NFL organization to a Super Bowl. I just don't think he's that level of quarterback and his leadership and his maturity too. But I just don't see the consistent accuracy there. But now you've
back where they drafted last year in the 2nd round. So Todd, I'll start with you. What's your initial reaction to the idea of building around Jalen Hurts?
I think it's a mistake. I'll be honest. I don't think Jalen Hurts is accurate enough as a passer, and maybe they see things in practice and kind of working with him that I have not seen. But there's a reason that Tua Tagovailoa became the guy in Alabama, and then Hurts wound up moving on to Oklahoma. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a great young man.
That's right. He says Jalen Hurts is not a champion quarterback, but yet Jalen Hurts' entire career, state champion, national champion, even when he was a true freshman, look what he did with Alabama. And I don't want to hear about Tua Tagovailoa, because he got in the game, in the championship game that Jalen Hurts brought them to. If Tua Tagovailoa would have started the entire season, would he be able to do what Jalen Hurts did? If you ask the Miami Dolphins, I say hell no. What made this ordeal worse is the fact that look at this young stud Jalen Hurts, took the Eagles to the championship and brought them another one just like Nick Foles did. I mean, this young quarterback has a great father, great leadership. Who is Todd McShay to say these quarterbacks aren't champion quarterbacks when they haven't even really got to proving themselves yet? So in other words, Todd McShay will use his pulpit to denigrate and knock down certain NFL players of a darker complexion. This has been his forte and MO since he has been on national television. Well, it makes sense why a alleged drunk would be on national TV and not be professional, and now he'll write this dubious crap of a headliner talking about he want to take a minute to say thank you to the outpouring supporters. Only scrubs and unprofessional people support a clown like you.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
What you got?
Who is it? Look who it is. What we got, Walt? What you got for me, baby?
52-0, baby.
Ooh, no score, no good, man.
What's the score?
Me and Christian St.
30-18, Alabama.
Woo, 40-18?
30-18.
30-18? How many touchdowns?
28.
28 in one game?
Yep.
I must be going federal.
Baby.
What you got, baby?
30-18.
Alabama.
Alabama. 3-0.
Yes, sir.
I've been 45 all but 10. Ha ha! You're going to have 18 touchdowns.
You Walt?
45-6, dog.
45-6.
45-6.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
How many touchdowns?
28.
28 touchdowns.
And rushing would be 198 yards.
Think about the future. What if we all took, life insurance?
Next play, give me that 2 base. Next play, give me 2
Like these guys that's getting all this NIL money, why don't they get life insurance for their parents? Now you're dealing with generational stuff that's going to help generations. We shouldn't be staggering about when somebody passes away, chipping in for the funeral. All that stuff should be straight. That's the kind of mindset we need for the.
I don't really chill with people off season, especially not other quarterbacks. Nothing like don't get me wrong, there's no problem, nothing like that. But it's like we compete against each other. I'm trying to beat you. I'm not trying to be your friend.
Yeah, do you think though that because you guys were from the same draft class that you'll kind of always be linked together?
Yeah. No doubt. When we older, we'll probably laugh about it, but right now it's serious. I ain't laughing with you. For real.
Hey, I'm proud to be standing up here with y'all. Hey, your daddy inspired me too. I know.
He inspired me.
We got to do a song, bro. Me, you, Shiloh, and Leangelo, bro. That's going charts, bro.
Since you actively play, I mean, LaMelo and them got to hop on there too. Since, it is what it is. It got to be the first song they release.
Yeah.
It's 3 of them. It's 3 of us. 2 of them play. 2 of y'all play.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm like, Leandro, because I'm the odd man out. He the odd man out. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, that'd be hard, though.
We just having fun.
Hey, YouTube family, do us a huge favor on this platform. Smash the like button. Please just press the like button. Hit the like button. Oh, we're not done yet with Todd McShay. As you guys can see, his history of coming against quarterbacks who look a certain type of way doesn't even stop yet. Look, I'm not the biggest Jalen Milroe fan, but once again, look what Todd McShay had to say about this young man as well.
Or resemble the first half versus Georgia. And if he does, then maybe we're back to that conversation. Could he be a first-round quarterback? All those sorts of things. But right now, the conversation, quite honestly, talking to some people this week, is shifting to I think Jalen might need to go back to Alabama for another year. So you're talking.
I know what you guys are thinking, but bless one. Jalen Milroe isn't all that. Then what about what he had to say about Lamar Jackson? See, Todd McShay never had anything good to say about black brothers. Maybe some, but majority none. This is what he said about Lamar Jackson that was baffling. He said that he needed another year. He's an electrifying quarterback, but explained why he must need another year. So if Lamar Jackson is electrifying, why does he need another year of college football, but Zach Wilson didn't? Let's go deeper into what Todd McShay really feels about Lamar.
Urge him to go back to school.
Over to you. Is this guy an NFL quarterback?
I think there are a lot of conflicting opinions in the NFL. I mean, you look at just talking to guys. Everyone I talk to, it seems like they have a little bit of a different opinion. But at the end of the day, he's just going to be a very difficult evaluation. And I would urge him to go back to school for another year. I don't get the sense that that's going to be the case. listen, on the positive side, we all know it. He's in a.
When you say, I think there's a lot of conflicting reports, he's basically saying Lamar is not an NFL quarterback. Not only was he wrong on majority of his assessments with black quarterbacks and wrong when he assessed the male ones to be higher than us, he goes deeper on Lamar a little bit more.
But he improved his accuracy overall. But you even see today where the mechanics aren't consistent. He's missing high on a lot of throws. So 4 interceptions, yes, you could argue one of them wasn't his fault. But like coming back to school and continuing to work on his mechanics and continuing to get bigger and stronger so that his frame will hold up at the next level. If he does have to run as much as he does, then I just think that would be the best thing for him. If he does leave early, though.
I know, mechanics, we can't read the first read. We basically don't have a high IQ. And the guy literally wanted Lamar Jackson to be a return man, a wide receiver. This guy here.
If he does leave early, though, I think he'll probably be a day 2 pick, second, third round range by a team that has a veteran quarterback and looks at him and says, you know what, if we can develop him, we could have something really special. If not, maybe we use him as an offensive weapon, possibly in the return game, Antoine Randall-El type situation. So he's going to be a real tough one, and certainly one player that we're going to talk about a whole lot between now and April's draft.
Now, mind I tell you, this is the same guy who told the entire world that one of the greatest quarterbacks next to Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, should have been a second-round pick. I know you think I'm making it up, right? If you notice, most of the NFL coaches all said Pat was ready for the NFL, but here comes Todd McShay, who says this guy is not even an NFL capable.
Quarterbacks in the first round are going to go. I mean, I hear with Pat Mahomes from Texas Tech, I grade him out as a second-round quarterback. I know some guys in the league have him second, third round, but there are some teams that clearly from intel that we're getting and talking to guys that view him a lot higher. And people are saying he might even go in the top 10, 15 picks in the draft. And so Deshaun Watson, I've heard that Chicago has a little bit of interest, that Jacksonville, we're not sure if they're going to stick with Bortles, but they have a little bit of interest. I've heard San Francisco likes Mitch Trubisky coming out of North Carolina, but maybe they don't want to spend that number 2.
Now, you guys got to remember, Todd McShay was the same guy who said Mitch Trubisky was not only better than Deshaun Watson and all these other quarterbacks during that draft. He said Mitch Trubisky would be an NFL caliber quarterback. Yeah, that's right. The North Carolina scrub quarterback who didn't do anything, much like a Daniel Jones for Duke University, didn't do anything, but these guys get drafted in the top 5 over and over again simply because guys like Todd McShay values them and sees them just like he sees Jaxson Darts over Shedeur because they look like his soon-to-be kid or future grandkids. And this is what he basically says again. He gets a little excited and he uplifts Zach Wilson as the next John Elway type of prototypical quarterback. That's right, Zach Wilson. And if you're being for real, it wasn't only Todd McShay gaslighting Zach Wilson from BYU, who played against no competitions, but he's seen enough. So one quarterback, Shedeur, gets denigrated for being at Jackson State, for playing at an underwhelming performance from Colorado Buffaloes. But the other quarterback, Zach Wilson, who comes from BYU, no, he's the ready-made quarterback. Pay attention as he drills over Zach Wilson.
I mean, they already have 4 picks in the first round the next 2 years and 9 picks in the first 3 rounds the next 2 years. So they're loaded up on picks. But I think more so today than I ever have before that the Jets are going to stick it to and take Zach Wilson. And, you know, part of it is because Sam Darnold has been battered and bruised than I do about what Sam Darnold's mindset is. And maybe Sam needs...
Zach Wilson, this one, why Zach Wilson so locked in as a I see why with my own eyes, but what's changed for football people in the last couple of weeks?
I don't think it's changed. I think it's been like this for the last couple of months. The only thing that's difficult is when you're watching Trevor Lawrence, it's a little bit more apples to apples evaluation. Now, BYU wanted to play a bigger schedule. They couldn't because of COVID this past year. They wanted to play better competition. They couldn't. but he dominated it throughout the year. And you see his ability to extend. He's not Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's making that comparison. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Everyone's making that comparison as well. But he's got some of that ability to extend plays, throw off platform, change his arm angles, and the ability to throw the ball down the field with great accuracy. And I think that's the biggest difference. Plus, you look at the analytics of it too. Outside of Mac Jones, he's the best of all these quarterbacks in this year's class in the three most important areas, in my opinion. Under pressure versus the blitz, and 20-plus yards down the field, which are more NFL throws.
Now, one man who I do like a lot and I respect him a lot is Trent Dilfer. He's the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, and a lot of people say that don't really count. But for me, it does count. It did count, especially during that time of the NFL, which it was strenuous and hard to even get through a season, let alone the offseason and the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So Trent Dilfer, who runs the Elite 11 quarterback club, camp that is for high school quarterbacks, Trent Dilfer, the quarterback who has always hyped up melanated quarterbacks because he can look past the skin complexion, unlike Todd McShay and many others, for whatever reasons, who hate Shedeur Sanders. But we know why they hate Shedeur Sanders. Let's listen to Trent Dilfer speak upon why Jalen was a good choice.
Where is Jalen Hurts for you as far as a development story at that position?
We had him at the Elite 11, and to this day, I say he's probably the most dominant leader we've ever had as a 17-year-old. A 17-year-old kid, I mean, you knew he's going to be either a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. He was going to win multiple championships. I mean, he was going to be a difference maker. He knows who he is. He's not trying to be anybody else but a winner. Is he the most accurate guy in the NFL? No, but he's accurate enough. He's always been accurate in big moments. He finds a way to create time and space for himself, which is the hardest thing for defenses to adjust to, is when there's more time that the quarterback has the football in his hand, there creates more space. He's not traditional, but he's effective. I know he's not everybody's favorite form of ice cream, but if winning is your favorite form of ice cream, he should probably be your favorite flavor, because he's going to continue to win at a high clip.
The same man that hyped up Trevor Lawrence as a generational talent. And look, I'm going to stop talking about all this and just say it. Todd McShay has issues with black quarterbacks. He always has it. So when he comes out his way to be the voice of reason, to speak on Shedeur, forget about if he's been correct or not. His analysis has been proven to be unprofessional. He's a guy that looks inebriated during the job, and he got fired because of that. I don't care what you guys tell me. To be at work and be in a disgusting position like that, slur speech, and not one pundit called him out. But this is the guy who gets to talk about our people, or if you're one of the parents and you have a future blue-collar, blue-chip quarterback who could be in the NFL one day, guys like Todd McShay are the people who are evaluating your kids. These are the guys with their obvious biasness towards your family members. So when I'm coming out here to do this, I'm not a professional victim. I can deal with the people who don't like us. In fact, I make this thing look beautiful. Like, who are you guys kidding? No, what we do here is do what you guys do, minus the racial tendencies. We come here, we show proof, we show receipts. That's it. It's like baking a cake with the right ingredients. Don't get mad because I added a little soul flavor to the ingredients. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and definitely stay blessed. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than football. It's deeper than football. And I think Todd McShay has overwhelmingly proved that it's always going to be bigger and deeper than football. Have a blessed day, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, YouTube family, make sure you support our Instagram. Follow us on IG at DJ_Bless1, or you can put I Smoke Hip Hop Live. You'll find us. Blessings to all of y'all, man. Please support the platform. We love each and every single individual who help us to have a big platform like this.
Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, it's my